Good evening, Canada. We are back this week with our popular show, Voice of Canada. Your host, Asphandiar Wadiwalla. My female co-host is Ghada Hamdani. And we have got a very charming guest today, a real artist in real sense of the word. She's Enakshi Sinha. Welcome to our show. Please introduce our viewers with your name and the name of your organization.
First of all, namaskar, and thank
Namaste
you for inviting me.
It's a
to be-
pleasure.
Absolutely my honor and pleasure. My name is Enakshi Sinha, and my organization name is Mrudanga Center for Performing Arts.
Lovely.
Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
What is the purpose of the center? If you tell us a little bit about it.
I have to start from the beginning.
Yes,
It is that.
sure.
Go ahead. Our viewers would love to hear from you how you started and what is doing and what is happening.
Sure. It started actually in India. I'm born and brought up in India. All my training in India.
Part of Bengal?
Yeah, Bengal,
Bengal.
Kolkata.
Kolkata. Wow,
West
wow.
Bengal. Yes. And all my training in dance started there.
At what age?
Actually, at 5.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Baby is
that's
training,
actually that's a very usual. It's a very normal
Start.
age, especially being in Kolkata in Bengali.
Wow.
We see any other household, the parents will make sure the daughter or the son will go to singing, dancing, painting.
It's in the blood of Bangla people.
You can say
nice.
that.
Yeah.
So my mom actually took me to learn Bharatanatyam dance
Very
at
good.
the age of 5. And I continued there for 10 years and finished my diploma course. And then I said, you know what? No more dancing. I'm done. What you wanted, I did that. And I'm good. And so I had no plan to go back to dancing
Lovely.
anymore after my
See,
diploma
interesting
course.
story.
Yes. But then when I saw my Guruji performing Guru Kelichar Mahapatra
Wow.
in Kolkata, of course, I just fell in love with the dance form,
Dance
which is
form.
Odissi dance.
It was in your blood.
No,
get
but
attracted
especially the
and pull
dance.
was there.
Yeah, but especially the dance form, the Odissi, it was the most beautiful dance forms that I've
went
ever seen.
inside
It just
your heart.
went inside. I told my mom, you know what, I want to go back to the dance, but I want to learn this dance form. So when I saw the Guruji and I approached him to learn, and he actually was from Bhubaneswar, Orissa.
Orissa.
That's the origin of this dance form, Orissa.
Orissa.
So of course that time I was studying, right? It's not possible for me to leave
To
my city and leave my
city and
studies
go
and
to-
go
yeah.
there. And he said, I've got my disciple here, one of my disciples in Kolkata,
In Kolkata.
Sharmila Biswas.
Wow.
And why don't you start with her, and you can come to me during your summer vacations and whenever you can and learn.
To groom you.
Yes. So there I actually met my first guru in Odissi dance, Guru Sharmila Biswas.
Wow.
It was her that what I'm here today because of her belief in me. The way she said, after a few years of training under her, she said, you're not going to do anything else but dance.
Oh, wow.
Because I had no,
Beautiful.
idea or no clue or no plan of becoming a professional Odissi dancer.
Mm.
I love dancing and I will learn dance, and that's all for me. I wanted to be a school teacher,
wow.
but then she said no.
You were destined to be a dancer.
I don't know
Yeah.
Ashwindiji what, but I love dancing.
Well, I have to ask you some questions because you mentioned a couple of things. Guru.
Guru
is that
is the mentor.
Okay.
Mentor.
Yeah.
Mentor. In
Mentor.
our Indian classical dance form, Guru Shishya tradition, that is mentor-disciple tradition or parampara, is the most important thing.
Okay. In which aspect is important thing?
First, whatever you are learning, it
Yeah.
is from your mentor, from your guru.
Yes.
And the guru is not only teaching you the particular dance form,
Yeah.
but also he or she is, giving you a different perspective of life through art, showing you the path in a very
Showing you the light, how to proceed.
exactly in a tunnel. If you're there, it is the guru who just
Guru.
shows you the light to cross that tunnel in that light.
Beautiful.
In
beautiful.
that tunnel.
Yeah.
So that way the gurus are very important, and I'm still, whenever I go to India in a seasonal visits for my performance, for update my training, I do it every
your
year.
guru must be very pretty old.
She is not that.
That
60s, but she's one of the
Finest mentors.
finest mentors and one of the what I say the most the choreographer in India.
Demanded choreographer.
Yes,
So they
yes.
explain to you what are you doing. So you mentioned Odissi. So what is Odissi and how they explain
Odissi is
to
the
you?
name of the dance. Am I
Yes,
right?
yeah,
Yes.
but why?
It's
Yeah,
the
what
name
is
of
it?
the
What do
dance.
they do?
So there are
exactly?
8
Is it
Indian
a
classical dance forms,
person?
8
Yeah.
types. Odissi is one of
One
them.
of them.
Yeah,
And
is it
that's
a
from-
group dance, men and
No,
women?
it's
or-
from east part of India.
Yeah.
So classical dance in India are based on the culture and the region that it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
This Odissi is from Orissa.
Orissa.
Okay, it's from eastern part of India.
Huh.
And the most and this is a classical dance form. This is not folk dance, you know. So there are 8 kinds of classical dances. So
Can you
Odissi is one of
name
them.
few of them?
Yeah, sure. Bharatnatyam is one of
Bharatnatyam is
them.
one of them.
Kuchipuri, Kathakali,
Very good.
Kathak,
See,
Manipuri, and Odissi. Yeah, so there. I
today
don't know how
our
many I said.
viewers would be really delighted to hear the history of dance.
Yeah,
in
sure.
India.
Actually, we are in a very beautiful country, Canada.
The best country in the world.
Because it
I
is,
would, let me add it.
Well, I don't know about the best, but it's one of the most multicultural country
Yeah.
that I've seen, because here, because of all other cultures that we see in this
Nationalities we have
country,
got.
we get to see beautiful other dance from some of the other countries,
Yeah.
and even from India. You get to see, especially in Greater Toronto area, in GTA, all these dance forms.
Now here also at our Square One, where we have got a celebration center,
Yes.
we often have lots of events
Yeah,
going
so- yeah,
during-
so
throughout
lots-
the summertime.
Yeah, so lots of new immigrants are coming. So they all are trained in India in these all classical dance forms. So we also get to see, we also get to get good teachers here to teach the younger kids here, the people, the Indian who are born here. So they also get the, you know, the kind of opportunity to learn this dance from so good teachers who are
You
coming
know, I
trained.
remember when the Consul General of India was here in our show, she said, do you know, in India, I've not been to so many festivals.
Mm.
But when I came to Canada, I was shocked. My Indian people, they organize everything.
Yeah,
Here
here
in
of
Canada.
course, yes.
And I
yes.
had the opportunity of really enjoying life. And I knew what is India and what are the festivals.
Yes,
Wow.
that we're definitely, we are privileged to be in this country to get to see not only festivals of India, but from other countries.
And the cultures, we see various cultures.
Absolutely,
And now
absolutely.
though we encourage all the communities to have their own cultural shows.
Yes.
Then even the food, display of the food.
Mhm,
That last week the taste of Manila was there. So like
Every
that,
weekend something is
everything,
going on,
something
for
is
sure.
there. It's
Yeah.
summers are very busy.
Very, very busy, actually.
So they explain to you each movement, what does it mean, or what you're doing, or how they. You said it's a light of, you know, they are enlightening your way, right?
See, in the classical dance, our training is pretty long journey.
Training for years.
I am still under training. I still take training from
Wow.
my guru.
Wow.
It is like an ocean.
Ocean.
Okay,
of
and I
knowledge.
find myself, I'm just a drop of it. I've hardly
Yeah.
learned anything. So it's a huge thing.
Ocean of art.
Ocean of art. So for Indian classical dance and music is a huge, I don't think so in one lifetime one can learn it. I'm sorry to say, people nowadays, you see that people are learning from YouTube and other social media channels, and they think that they have learned the dance form,
It's
especially.
not that.
It is not that.
Nobody can master
It is
that.
not that.
See,
It is,
you understand that.
you have to, this is called sadhana, that is a
Sadhana,
dedication.
yeah, dedication.
With that, it comes your discipline. So the continuous training is like, as I said, I joined when I was 5 years old, and the training continues. That's the way this classical
Concept
dance
of classical
really
dance,
becomes.
yes.
You can say yourself, I'm an Indian classical dancer, when you get to know that how many years of training that you've gone through with your gurus.
Wow, wow.
And it is just not dance, with the other aspect of dance, that is dance, abhinay, that is facial expression, how to wear your
The
costume.
movements of hands, the body and everything.
Yes, yes. And we have a lot of things. It's just not the dance. With the dance comes the hand gesture, that is mudras, the eye movements, drishti veda, the head movements, neck movements,
It's like
feet
a language.
movements. It is a different language and different
Language,
thing that you are learning. So it's,
So the costume you're wearing today, is it related
sari,
to the
it's a
dancing
traditional
or
sari.
just a traditional?
it's a traditional
Yeah, so
sari.
do you wear it
She's
for
wearing a very
dancing?
nice,
No,
elegant,
Or
no.
no?
No, for dance, we have a
Yeah.
stitch costume.
Okay.
And as I said, like each and every dancers from India, they comes from a particular region and culture. So since it's from Orissa, the costumes that we wear is out of that saris from Orissa. The Bomkai saris, Sambalpuri saris.
Easy to dance in a sari?
Very difficult
They are
in our dance.
loosely fitted or tight fitted?
No, we were for us. We get the saris and stitched in a costume.
Okay.
So it's all stitched. Whatever you see that, they're all stitched.
So movement is easy.
Of
it's
course,
not
movement
difficult.
is easy. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, that's amazing.
Enakshi, inform our viewers, when did you founded the organization in Canada? And what inspired you to start an organization? And I believe that time you were in Windsor, Ontario.
Yes. So when I came to Canada, it was 2006. And I didn't land in Toronto, so I landed in Windsor.
How come you landed in Windsor?
It's, well,
There's
wherever
some
you're...
connection in
So whatever the reason is, I landed in Windsor. But of course, it's a beautiful town. It's
we
definitely...
pass when we go to Detroit. I
right?
pass from Windsor.
It's a division, but that time, of course, now things have changed. There was a complete lack of, the culture of India. In the sense, when I say Indian culture, I was talking...
white city.
No, there were a lot of Indians. Other things were happening, but if I was looking for a proper classical dance and music shows or festivals or teachers or schools or organizations, there were none. Very few, maybe just one or two or maybe. So that was definitely quite a challenge for me, because I came from India being a professional dancer. So I knew that I'm not going to do anything else but dance. So I'm not going to compromise on that. I knew that from the day one. So of course, initially I started to perform in the university, schools, and the communities, just people to get aware of the
dancing.
Forget about Odissi. Some people were not aware of how many Indian classical dance.
It's a popular word. Odissi dancing is known.
In India, it's one of the most...
I have heard this name, Odissi dancing, a lot.
Yeah, actually in India, it's one of the most popular dance forms now.
Wow.
Yes.
Even more popular than Bharatnatyam?
I don't want to compare, but what I said
I'm just asking you because you are the best judge to answer
I will not say
on the same
more
level.
Or all dance forms are same level, but
nice. I love
yeah, it is really one of the most popular dance forms. So anyway, I'll come back to your question. How did I form? So yeah, I started performing and all. So with performance, people were starting, they were inquiring about this dance form and whether I teach or not. So I didn't want to teach from the day one, because I was a performer. I wanted a stage and I wanted to perform. But it is this teaching that was only helping me to reach out to the audience or people more. Right? Every day you don't perform. So it's the teaching. So that's why this slowly few students came in.
But in those days, it was easy to get the students.
Easy, like they saw...
all were from Windsor only, or
they're all from
even
Windsor.
The students from Detroit used to come?
No, they were all from Windsor. They watched my performances in the initial stage and they joined my classes. And that's the reason I formed this organization called Mrudanga. But this Mrudanga, this name actually was from India, because I already had my school before. I started a year before I came to Canada that I wanted to...
So what does it mean? The word actually means?
Mrudanga is one of the percussions.
Percussions.
Yes, it's one of the percussions, one of the oldest percussions in India, and it was also Mrudanga that was played before. Now, of course, for Odissi dancer, our percussion is Mardala. It's called Pakhwaj or Mardala, but there was also Mrudanga that used to be part of that, instruments. So anyway, so yeah, that is the reason the Mrudanga formed, and slowly it grew, and I saw people was getting interest to learn this dance form. And that's the reason this Mrudanga
came into being over here in Canada.
In Canada, yes. So it started in Windsor. And of course, then I started getting students from Detroit. I always used to have my online classes. Those days, 2007, I'm talking about. I used to have students from US and from India online. So that time used to be Skype and all.
Skype, yeah.
Yes.
Zoom is a new
It's a very new, So I used to have those
I think we'll go on.
We'll be taking a short break and we'll be back with you soon. Welcome back after a short break. In our weekly talk show, Voice of Canada, your host Asphandiar Wadiwalla, my charming co-host Ghada Hamdani, and we have got a beautiful guest, a classical dancer of Odissi, Enakshi Sinha. Welcome back after a short break.
Thank
We
you.
are really lucky to have you today. You are a very busy person, but it was difficult for us to get you after 4 weeks.
No, not that easy. But
Yeah.
thank you. It's also my
So,
pleasure.
Enakshi,
Mm.
tell our viewers at what age you enroll the girls or your students
Mm.
in your classes.
It's 5 years onwards. I would like to get the girls or boys.
Boys also
Of
perform.
course,
Oh,
of course.
wow,
We have. As I said, my Guru Kalichar Mahapatra, he was a male
Achha,
dancer.
males also do the Odissi dancing.
Oh, yeah,
Lovely,
there
lovely.
are
See, that's a
lots
knowledge.
of male
Yeah, that's
dancers.
right.
Okay, for sure. There, here also in Canada, you will have lots of not Odissi but other form dancers who are male.
Mhm. So you've done lots of shows, obviously, beside the teaching. So have you done, how many shows you've done? Have you done something all in Canada or outside Canada? If you can tell us a little bit.
Yeah, don't ask me how many shows.
Okay,
It's
so
like,
there
She doesn't have a count.
Okay.
She has performed. She is a celebrity of Odissi dancing
Okay,
in
that's
Canada,
good to know. Yeah.
and we are proud to have her in our show.
Yeah.
Thank
She's
you.
our heavyweight guest today.
Yeah.
Thank you,
yeah.
thank you. No, it's nothing like that. But all of my shows all of them are memorable in their own ways.
Mhm.
In Canada, of course, I had the privilege of performing in Stratford Festival and
Lots of Bradford is a very well-known
Yes, it was a
place.
beautiful productions that we did there called Colors of Winter
Oh, wow.
with the musicians from Stratford and symphony orchestra. And with Odissi and Hindustani classical singer coming from India. So that was very interesting for me. And another interesting work which I've just finished is called Anthem of Life on Zulu mythological stories with South African actors. And there I'm just not dancing, I'm also like acting as a theater person. That
wow.
absolutely
Your captions
fantastic.
are very strong. The titles which you are giving,
Yes,
it's really,
fantastic
really
experience
catchy.
that was like it will be like a Broadway shows. We just did part 1, it will be part 2 next year, part 3 will be 2026. So it's very nicely done.
Enakshi, as you are aware that it's a century-old dance,
Mm.
Odissi. So can you give some background how it started and some background of the Odissi dancing?
Okay, I don't know how much I'll be able to cover because
Whatever you
a little
can give
bit.
a
Yes,
brief,
yes,
brief,
yeah.
because our viewers will be really interested.
Absolutely.
to
It is
know.
one of the oldest dance form
Form
Indian
of dancing.
classical form of dancing from Orissa. It actually started with the temple dancers. I'm sure with some Indians, they know about Jagannath temple in Orissa, in Puri, in Orissa.
So it is performed during puja also?
No, when I say
No.
temple dancers means there were some dancers who used to perform for the Lord Jagannath.
No, Jagannath.
So they used to perform in the temples, inside the temples, and somewhere also outside the temples, where they used to have festivals like Rath Yatra, Jhula Natra. There were lots of festivals. So those temple dancers were there. Okay. Now, after the abolition of temple dancers, then come the go-to pure dancer.
It was a British rule that time?
Yeah, it was during
British
that
rule.
time. So after the lot of other political issues and all, so the temple dancers abolished, and then comes a go-to pure dance. And what are these go-to pure dancings? These are the small little boys till age of 12. They used to dress up like girls.
Oh, wow.
And they used to dance, but their dance are more like gymnastics. Okay, but they are still there. They are still prevalent in Orissa, and it's again one of the popular dance forms. All our gurus in Odissi, they were all go-to pure dancers.
Oh, wow.
So they were like gymnastic dance, but beautifully shown. And they used to wear costumes in dhoti style and wear all those chandans and masks. So what happened is that when the guru started defining this dance called Odissi, they took some forms from temple dance, they took some from go-to pure dance, and they form a structure called Odissi, but most of the movements took from the temple sculptures. So if you go to the Orissa called Konark temple, the sculptures out there are taken from there. You will see our dances are very, very
history, huh?
Oh, it's a lot of history. So our dance, especially Odissi, it's a very graceful dance, people say. It is a graceful dance because we have like upper torso and the lower torso. The upper torso has to be very, very not soft, graceful to move, and the lower torso has to be as strong and hard to move. So it's a
And
combination of two.
how old it is? How many centuries old?
It's actually supposed to be in BC century.
BC century,
Yeah.
before Christ.
Yes.
Wow.
But
wow.
it was not known that way. But it was like it became popular, or it became too public after a long time. So
Yeah.
the people say that this is not that old form in compared to other dance forms, but actually it's not that. It is from the BC century, but it was not known to public that way.
But Shinakshi, as the times are moving ahead, technology is moving fast in this world. So has the dance also improved?
Oh,
Some
absolutely.
new steps, new ways, new methods were
All our gurus, they have evolved.
evolved, yeah.
What is our first gurus have done? He's evolved. Our guru is Guru Kalichan Mahapatro. He took it internationally. It evolved. The dance evolved, and all other gurus and the seniors, and my Guru Sharmila Biswas, she is evolving with this dance form in a different level. So of course, keeping the fundamentals intact. Our fundamentals of our basic thing and definitely intact, but then evolvement with the production, with the theme is evolving still, and then I'm evolving in a different way because I like collaboration. I also teach my students in a different way, of course teaching the basic and the traditional aspect. So yeah, evolvement is the part of Indian classical dance. That is the most important thing.
So you've been performing alongside the indigenous here in Canada, and you've been actually in some other certain regions. So we'd like to know more about that.
Thank you so much for taking that, because I kind of forget because many other things I do.
Everything we have a paucity of time. Otherwise, I would love to take your interview of 2 hours.
Thank you so much. But that's incident, or that's a project I definitely like to talk about. It was during I think just before COVID. I got the project to go to Nunavut. And in a place called Baker Lake in Nunavut to do a project with indigenous artists.
Lovely.
So it was definitely a experience for me because minus 75, wearing layers of clothes.
You survived?
I survived. I'm here, and I think I'm alive.
Joking.
No, not true, because it was one of the days I was not wearing my glasses and my eyelashes froze.
Wow.
It was just a matter of a second. Minus 75.
Can't imagine.
But it was definitely an experience for me. Experience that was a learning experience for me. I learned so much from them, their culture, their way of life. With that, their music. I just want to tell you a little, like a very small experience. There are hundreds of experiences I can share, which I don't have time. Northern Lights, right?
Northern Lights,
yeah. So they all know that I'm a dancer and I've come here for the project. So they say, whenever you see this Northern Lights, you try to whistle. I said, why do I whistle? They said, you whistle, and so they will respond to you and they will dance with you.
Oh, wow.
Because for them, it's like their ancestors is coming alive. It is their ancestors coming alive. So in the beginning, I was not reluctant, I don't know. But the first time when I saw, I just kept quiet and just admired those Northern Lights. And the second day when I saw, I said, okay, let me whistle. And it was such a beautiful feeling. I couldn't capture in my lenses. It was captured in my,
So we are really proud to know that you have even worked. You have taken an art to our indigenous people.
It was the very first time in Baker Lake. They saw Odissi dance. I did a workshop with them. They also learned. And also I did a collaboration with a throat singer. So it was a very, very, very first time in Baker Lake in Nunavut that they saw this Indian classical dance.
And it was a big crowd to witness.
Big crowd.
Big crowd to witness. Very good.
And they had questions like this.
We are truly proud of you, that being a Indian background, you are serving even our indigenous communities.
Thank you. It was just an honor for me.
Yeah, and you have some international shows as well. You participated in, right?
Yes. One of them was, I think, last year. I went to Spain in Casa de la India. It is one of the prestigious organization and venue in Spain. I was able to do a production on Tagore.
Very good.
And it was it was
pretty good.
Yeah, it was. I really liked the experience of being with them. So I'm a dancer, like to collaborate, like to know other cultures, and go around and of course spread Odissi dance
Definitely.
as much as possible.
You are really
In Canada, it needs to be
you are
spread more.
really serving your culture of art.
Thank you
You
so
have
much.
preserved it.
Thank you.
You know, our generation would really remember you.
Trying to, and
In
my
the history,
students.
your name will be written in the Odissi culture.
Not in the history, but I really need, like, my students, whoever they're with me, they should also able to continue, not only become just a student, also become a professional dancer.
Also, from 2011 till now, how many students you have trained up till now? Average, approximately.
I don't count like that way.
No, approximate. We want an approximate figure. Okay, you must be trained about 300 students.
I think the people who knows me, they know that I'm a very picky teacher.
Very
so
good.
I don't have so many students because I take time of teaching. I like the fundamentals and the foundations.
So
to
you
be
do
strong.
the theory as well as the practicals.
That is a part of it.
And
I like the foundations and the fundamentals to give time on that. For that, if you need 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, they have to stick to me. If I don't see the foundation right, I'm sorry, I'm not able to go ahead with the learning dance pieces.
That's the real way you're taking classes.
I have learned that way from my gurus.
At the same time, practicals.
Yeah, that's the part of it. As I said, in our training, theory and practical goes hand in hand.
As the time is really running out, so you would like to talk about your forthcoming program of Umang.
Yes, thank you so much. Again, I will tell you what is the reason of this Umang.
Umang is a hope.
Umang is, I call it as light of hope.
Light of hope, yeah.
It started again in Windsor. In Windsor, I started in 2009 with the purpose of bringing Windsorites in the city to see the professional, internationally acclaimed artists coming from India, US, Europe, and Canada, so that they don't have to travel to Toronto or Detroit. Because Windsor is a place, if any good shows, they have to go to Detroit or to, Toronto. So I said, let me bring this production, this festival. So it was a 2-day festival I started, and thankful to the Ontario Arts Council and other Arts Council to give the support that I could, sustain that festival. And this festival came to GTA since 2018. And it's continuing. And so this year we are having it in 2 cities in 2 days.
Toronto and Windsor.
In Brampton we are having in Lester Pearson Theatre on November 17th.
Beautiful.
And in
November, we will be getting an honor to witness the show.
Absolutely. And November 23rd we are having it in Windsor. In Armoris building in the performance hall. And I'm very, very honored to announce that we are having an artist who is a Padma Shri holder from India. A very well-known dancer, and we are looking forward for her to come.
To receive her in Canada.
Yes, and she will be performing for us and also do a workshop for us.
So being your media partner, keep in mind to take out some time, bring her to our studios.
Absolutely.
We would like to meet her, take her interview along with you, so we can know the art of Odissi dancing, how you have preserved. And in the end, we soon will be signing off. So would you like to say some strong words to our viewers, your remarks, your comments?
I don't know what strong words. I always believe in dreams.
Dreams, very good.
You should dream. One should dream.
You're an artist, so you believe in dreams.
One should dream.
Definitely.
But make sure to fulfill that dream. Don't compromise on that for anything.
Beautiful. And before we end, just tell our viewers it was difficult to find the musician of Odissi dancing.
Unfortunately, we don't have the musicians here in Canada.
So you use the recorded
I usually have to do the recording from India.
Wow.
Yeah.
So still you don't have the musicians who can play live for the Odissi.
The main is, as I said, the Mardala, the Pakhwaj. We do have a very good Mardala player here, but we don't have more options.
More options left.
So
for music.
For music, yeah. So that's only a setback for this dance form.
And what will be the duration of your show which you are going to have as Umang?
Umang Festival will be for 2.5 hours with 15 minutes break in between. And there will be 2 hours of dance form. It is just not Odissi, by the way. We are having dance forms of Bharatanatyam and Kathak.
Lovely.
These are all professional groups and solo artists.
So you're inviting other groups also?
Absolutely. And in Windsor, I'm having artists from US, coming from Detroit and California to perform, even
Beautiful.
different other forms.
We would say keep up the good work, what you are
Thank you.
doing.
Thank
you have
you so
really
much.
kept alive the culture of Odissi dancing.
Thank you.
And if there is anything, just let us know if you want to make any announcement and all, as we have tied hands with you. So we look forward of hearing you from you often.
Thank you so much
So with
for
that
this
note,
honor.
With that note, we will be saying good night, goodbye. God bless Canada. God save our King.
Hello friends, Namaskar. I am Enakshi Sinha, and today I want to share with all of you, my lovely friends and well-wishers, my incredible journey in the last decade as a classical Odissi dancer in Canada. I came to Canada with an open mind, ready and willing to learn and experience a new culture, new country, new way of living. I had no expectations in return, just pure excitement. In these 10 years, I have not only grown immensely as a dancer, performer, choreographer, art educator, but this beautiful country, Canada, which I now call home, has accepted me with open arms. Canada has nurtured and encouraged the dancer in me more, and has helped me to explore and manifest my inner depth and potential that often remained untapped. I won't say my 10 years journey as a dancer has all been a bed of roses, but it has been worth every thorn.
Good afternoon. Before I start my talk today, I'd like to really thank the Just Seminar organizers and Sujit especially for inviting me and giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my views as a practitioner of performing arts in front of you. And also, I'm truly honored to share this platform with such esteemed and honorable speakers that we had this morning, and we're going to have the rest of the afternoon. Thank you so much. Well, when the Just Talk Collective, the organizers of the seminar, asked me to talk on the subject on social justice, in the first instance, I thought to myself, I might not be the right person to talk about this subject. I was then reminded of the words of Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, the Japanese philosopher and votary of peace, human rights, and the environment. Dr. Ikeda once remarked, one artist is equivalent to 100 people. In the context of how artists can apply their art form to impactfully influence society on matters of social change. Those words prompted me to think that as an artist, I should take this opportunity to share my views and experiences on how the power of performing arts and the artists themselves could impactfully highlight social issues. My name is Enakshi Sinha, and I'm an Indian classical dancer, art educator, and a choreographer by profession.